let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
And I'm John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of he got through.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies, and we're breaking them all the way down.
John, welcome.
Kevin, thanks for having me.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be here.
Thanks for coming over. Thanks for bringing the high-proof bourbons.
Oh, yeah, we're going to try to... We made it through that one. We've moved on to something else.
I'm still working on it, but yeah, It's good. We're talking about Jingle All the Way, Arnold's one and only Christmas movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
one
think
is
so.
enough.
Yeah, well, yeah.
When you do it perfect the first time, you don't have to do it again.
Absolutely. And this is a masterpiece.
Flawless movie.
My mince words.
It's the crown.
It's perfect.
It's the feather in Arnold's cap.
Yeah. He should have just stopped right here.
Remember those when they would have like fake Arnold on Conan all the time? You know, that's Arnold with the little mouth cut out.
Yes.
And he's always talking about Jingle All the Way, available on DVD now. But the movie's not as bad as advertised.
No.
This guy, the good laughs. He got through.
Yeah, Sinbad was having a career surge at the time. They went and got the hottest comic at the time. I don't know, Rita Wilson. Tom Hanks' wife.
They didn't give her a ton to do.
Yeah.
It's nestled safely under our tree.
Phil Hartman was fucking diabolically amazing in this role.
Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
I'll try to catch us up. We got our main character's name is Howard. That's a Schwarzenegger. He's like sort of this generally shitty kind of dad.
Yeah.
He's
absentee
been
father.
Absentee father, not a great husband. He's neglected to get his son the Turbo Man doll that he's just absolutely dying to have for Christmas. So he's made a promise to his son he's going to get him this Turbo Man doll. So he's out shopping on Christmas Eve, trying to find Turbo Man.
On Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
The most popular toy in the world.
He's run afoul of Sinbad's character, Myron, another dad who's out there looking for the Turbo Man doll. They're basically all over Minneapolis hunting for this Turbo Man. Arnold has just, they were at the Mall of America.
He's being beaten back by moms calling him a pervert.
He was chasing after this kid for...
He left a toy store. They were giving out numbers, and he left the toy store
after for a single number
instead of getting a new number.
Yeah, so he chased this kid through Legoland, through like the playground. Moms were beating on him because they thought he was trying to molest their kid or whatever.
He jumped on a multi-$1,000 piano.
Yeah, now he's wandered off. He's like, I'm not a pervert. I just want the Turbo Man doll.
Totally a perv.
And that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the whole...
Do you guys get it? Do you have it? Oh, okay. So as Howard walks away from the crowd of moms who've loudly and vocally accused him of being a prevert, the mall Santa, played by Jim Belushi, goes psst, and asks, hey, do you need a Turbo Man doll for Christmas? Howard's like, forget it, I'm not going to sit on your lap. And Jim Belushi says, hey, Chief, it's not my bag. Get it? Yeah, we get it. You're not a pedophile. Or it's an anti-gay joke, I guess.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it's a little Red Heat reunion with Belushi and Schwarzenegger.
Again, another example of Schwarzenegger loving to go back of the well of people that he knows and loves to work with.
I feel like he can call anyone, hey, you want to come and do some cameo work in this other movie?
And they know, they're like, oh, shit,
yes.
Arnold? Yes.
I love you, buddy.
It's instant bank. You know people are going to be there. So Howard rolls his eyes at the terrible Santa joke. Santa says with an attitude like that maybe he shouldn't do Howard this solid. He's like, well, all right, fine, maybe I shouldn't. Like what? And then then he calls his elf Tony over to show Howard something. Tony, who has this hilarious New York accent, produces a Polaroid of himself holding a Turbo Man and the day's newspaper with the date.
It's amazing. It's like some proof of life shit.
Yeah.
Tony, played by Danny Woodburn, who was Kramer's actor buddy Mickey in many episodes of Seinfeld.
Who's awesome.
He's a funny
fantastic.
Dude. Shit's hilarious. I feel like this was almost like the origin to like Bad Santa, like these two,
Definitely. Probably. So Howard asks, how can I be sure that you're on the up and up? Santa is like, never mind that. And they momentarily get back to their mall gig. Howard says that they're, hey, we're all businessmen and can we work something out? So Santa pulls Howard in and tells him that if you got the money, I've got the doll. Howard asks how much, but right at that moment, a mall cop walks by. So Santa wishes the mall cop a boisterous Merry Christmas. Tony waves like a good elf. And when the guy walks away, everyone immediately drops the act. I love Tony's face when they drop the act. Like good acting chops on that guy. And then with the cop gone, Santa pulls Howard in again and says, Santa never delivers a toy in broad daylight.
Right.
Howard replies, well, you're not the real Santa. Santa shoots back, really? And you're not a guy who's got enough foresight to get his kid a Turbo Man before Christmas Eve, are you?
Damn. So, you cut him down to size.
Yeah.
Completely
accurately.
Dropping truth bombs on Howard.
So Howard's begrudgingly, he's like, all right, we'll go along with this sketchy elf and Santa. Take a sip.
Nice loud
So
sip.
we cut to Howard driving Santa and Elf to an undisclosed location.
Which was odd.
Right.
Like they don't have their own vehicle, their conveyance. Maybe not.
I don't know. It's probably more sketchy for them to drive him.
I get the impression Santa's hella drunk.
Yeah, probably. Howard's complaining that he's got to get the doll and get to the parade.
Santa's singing that song, The Little Boy That Santa Claus Forgot. Is that a real song?
I don't know. I hope it is.
The little boy that Santa Claus forgot.
It's very funny. It's very funny. So Howard's complaining, how am I supposed to get this and then get back to where I need to be? Santa's singing this song, this dark song loudly. They pull up to a shady looking industrial building where a guard at the gate, who's also dressed as Santa, has a snarling German shepherd wearing reindeer antlers.
That visual killed me. He's snarling like a Nazi dog or
funny.
Jim Crow era, snarling German shepherd with reindeer antlers on.
Yeah. So
I found this place, the location on Google Maps.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is this? It was some sort of weird granary, it seemed like on the thing. But it's this little island in the middle of the Mississippi River called the Nicollet Island, which the buildings are still there, but now it's like an event space where people get married and stuff on this location.
That's very interesting.
But I'm just like,
that place has to be flood prone.
Such a cool location.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I love as they enter the facility and Howard's like, so what happens next? Jim Belushi's like, what are you, Dan Rather? What is this? 60 Minutes? What are you? The Question King? Chill. I love that. That he was improvising. Yeah,
they just told him
that shit cracked me up. I was dying. I love Jim Belushi.
You're a fan?
I love him. Yes.
The strategy just seemed to be cast funny people and just tell them to cut loose and just riff.
But the fact that he just went question to question without an answer, I also loved him in the newest Twin Peaks series. He was amazing. So
where he's like, okay, keep your hands where I can see them.
Yeah.
I feel like everything he was saying was off script.
Yeah. So they park. Santa delivers the secret knock on the door to the rhythm of da 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 da. Another Santa opens the peephole and asks for the password, which is Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. Howard rolls his eyes, which should have been. He should have said it out loud. That would have been amazing for the rhythm. But anyway, there are Santas inside. elves, Mrs. Clauses everywhere, counting money, smoking, drinking, looking at porno,
That
and moving
shit was
around.
crazy.
Yeah, it looks like a Shredder's lair in Ninja Turtles.
I was baffled. They're all like working but they're in costumes.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's plausible deniability.
It was
But anyway, they're also moving around what is undoubtedly stolen merchandise.
Well, I couldn't tell what was supposed to be happening.
Yeah, I think that they've stolen stuff, but then
But
I
it
think that
wasn't
maybe
like,
they're actually donating it.
It didn't seem like everything seemed above board to me. I'm like, they're not like making fake toys or anything. They were just like, but there was like weird. It was like the hooks in Cobra. They were conveying around these gigantic teddy bears.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's
stuffing
like,
stockings.
do we need to be able to show that we've moved this many units to collect the money that we're supposed to collect? So that's the vibe that I got, was that it was like equal parts above and below board.
Okay. The song that was in there was bumping. It was this song "Backdoor Santa" by Clarence Carter, but you may recognize it was sampled in the Run DMC
Yes.
Christmas in Hollis song.
Yes.
Yeah. Backdoor Santa. Interesting.
Yeah, so there's this assembly line packaging toys. Santa sends Tony the elf to get the Turbo Man, the previously agreed to Turboman. Turboman. Howard tells Santa that this operation seems to be, quote, not quite kosher, to which Santa replies, hey, we're doing it for the kids.
It was a weird line reading,
Right?
like kosher line. I couldn't tell what he's implying.
For every not above board. And then Santa's like, for every kid who ever sat down on Santa's lap, for every little girl who left cookies and milk for Santa on Christmas night.
Christmas night? Is that when you leave the cookies and the milk on Christmas night?
Christmas night.
Eve.
Yeah, it is Christmas Eve. You're
They
right.
fucked it up, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. For every little boy who opens a present on Christmas morning and finds clothes instead
That
of
was
toys.
a good reading.
Jacob Arnold was a master at shaking a box and being like, whatever, this present sucks.
Yeah, young Jacob.
It's like, fuck this thing. So it's like, so Tony returns with a wrapped package. Santa says it'll be $300. Dollars? No, Christmas kisses. Yes, dollars.
300, that seems pretty reasonable at this stage.
Yeah. Christmas Eve,
Hours
1996.
before the deadline.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever it takes.
You own your own business? Take it out of your paycheck.
It's not illegal to buy a thing and sell it at a profit.
No. So Howard forks over the money in disgust, then starts to rip open the package. But Santa's like, whoa, don't do that here. Then the Turbo Man, which he shakes, is like, starts hablang Espanol.
Me amo Turbo Man or some shit.
Yeah. Santa says, it's multilingual and it's going to be fun and educational. But Howard's like, he opens the box and immediately the toy like disintegrates.
Howard, take the toy and run. You get home, you tell your wife, I don't know, I never pressed the button. Or whatever. It was speaking English.
Absolutely.
There's a switch. A switch must have flipped. It was speaking English earlier. I don't know. You're golden. Your ass is covered as long as you just have a toy.
Yeah,
to
just
give the
to
kid.
say. And then she's like, we can't present him this. We say
did your part.
say we've gotten good word from Santa that your toy is on the way. And that's all you have to say.
As long as if you're Howard, as long as you bring home a Turbo Man, you can at least defend yourself.
I've been a kid. All you have to say is, it's on the way.
Yes.
That's all you have to say. So we get a long, slow Arnold glare at the camera. Howard shoves the broken toy at Tony, then demands his money back. But Santa says, hey, man, all sales are final. Howard calls the Santas and company a bunch of sleazy conmen, degenerates, lowlives, criminals, etc.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird to do when you're outnumbered 100 to 1.
To which Jim Belushi's like, hey, man, that's a bridge too far. There's a collective gasp among the Santas. Then Belushi Santa says, hey, I'm going to pick a fight. But Howard says, I'm not going to hit a Santa Claus. So Santa calls him chicken. tries to Marty McFly him in front of the...
I feel like it was the origin of the Arrested Development, like the chicken
Yes,
dance.
I did. I thought the same thing. So, like, trying to humiliate him in front of the other Santa. Tries to humiliate him in front of all the other Santas. Hold on.
John is so drunk. She's so drunk.
Tries to humiliate him in front of all of the other Santas.
Mm-hmm.
Then Howard grabs Santa, punches him into next week in what is a feat of strength.
That was an amazing. I don't know how they did that.
The body
he did
to
like a fucking
that?
headstand.
Yeah, I was
think
wondering
it was
the same thing.
Reverse. Like,
yeah, I thought the same thing.
Dude did a front flip or something, and they ran it backwards.
So they got the thing where Jim Belushi's body tumbled forward, and before falling down, he's like, "Get him!"
Get him.
So another Santa literally flips out into action with candy cane nunchucks. Howard grabs a huge candy cane pole, tells the dude to shut up his Bruce Lee cries, and like decks him with it.
It was kind of like the Michael Keaton Batman when the dude just stepped out with the nunchucks and he just laid him out one punch or whatever.
Yeah. Much like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
where dude like jump out with the thing. Yeah.
He just like fucking beats his ass to death with that candy cane.
So then other dudes start to attack, but then Howard starts to like fend him. The more that he starts to like protect himself, he starts to get into it, and then he's like enjoying it more.
He should have just run out of there, right?
Yeah, but just then we hear loud dinosaur footsteps, and a look of concern passes over Howard's face. A slow pan up shows a giant Santa who disrobes, snaps his suspenders, and says, "I'm gonna deck your halls, bub." Which that's a big Wolverine line. Bub is a big Wolverine thing.
Deck your halls, bub.
I'm gonna deck.
Great line reading from Paul White.
Yeah,
AKA the Giant.
the
AKA
Giant.
the Big Show.
Yeah, the Big Show from WCW, WWE wrestling fame.
How weird was it when a wrestler would like change outfits and then just all of a sudden they had a different name, like with no explanation? Like, oh my God, it's the Big Show. And it's like, no one's ever called him that before, JR.
Yeah.
It's Psycho Sid. No, it's Sid Vicious, right? Like, it's not. What? How?
Oh, so you think that they were like hinging on like if JR called them something?
It's the Big Show. What? No.
Well, now it is.
He's only ever been the Giant.
Now we continue whatever you just said.
It's the Big Boss Man.
That's kind of awesome, though.
Big Van Vader. All these dudes.
Well, man, they should have met with JR ahead of time.
Don't do it. Dear God.
Dear God, don't do it.
He's killed him.
Oh, his whole family's dead. What's this movie about?
Remember the fucking Disco Inferno?
Yes.
What a weird character.
It's so strange.
Here's the Disco Inferno. He's not here to lose. He's not here to lose a match to fucking Scott Steiner or somebody.
But he's so funny. He's very funny.
He's the Disco Inferno.
That's Mick Foley, right?
No, I don't know who the Disco Inferno was. Mick Foley was like Cactus Jack /
But he was several people.
/
Holy shit! Hold on.
Mankind. Right now, there are literally dozens and dozens of Mankind fans.
That's the
Disco Inferno. I don't know who he was. He was some Italian fuck, some fake John Travolta, like Saturday Night Fever type shit.
Holy shit.
Is he dead?
No. It was, I think it was Terry Funk.
The Disco Inferno was a nobody. He was a nobody. He had a big hawk sort of nose, like a big Roman nose.
Glenn Gilberti, American pro wrestler known for appearances as Disco Inferno. 6-year tenure on WCW.
Absolutely.
1-time cruiserweight, 2-time television champ.
He held belts?
1-time tag team champ. I I remember Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno.
But I need to see him, is the thing.
Building to the Nature Boy Ric Flair against the Macho Man Randy Savage. And Brain, I wonder if
Oh, I remember Disco.
Oh, shit. Get loose.
of the Scorpion Death Drop from Sting.
I remember, all right.
He had a pompadour, sort of. He was a John Travolta knockoff, sort of like Saturday Night Fever thing.
He was going to do. He was going to try to take out every member of that NWO all by himself.
Not important. Oh, we've been rolling this whole time.
That's okay. We chop it all out. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It's the Big Show.
Where are we even in the thing?
Big Show showed up. I want to break your all, bub.
Okay. All right. Picking it up right here.
Okay.
Giant Santa motions Howard to like, hey, come on. Howard takes a swing with his candy cane, but it shatters against the flesh of Giant Santa. Giant Santa grabs Howard, uppercuts him across the warehouse, where Tiny Santa, and that's
Vern Troyer.
Yeah, Mini-Me from Austin Powers.
Last seen looking at the porno mag earlier. Why he's dressed as a Santa, not an elf, though.
Right. I love it.
Bizarre.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, Santa is a jolly old elf, if we believe the poem.
Facts.
So anyway, Vern jumps him, starts attacking. Giant Santa stands Howard up while Tiny Santa's like sitting on his shoulder. He goes to punch Howard, but Howard ducks just in time so that the punch hits Vern, Tiny Santa, sending him flying across the warehouse.
You can't not laugh at that.
Yeah, Giant Santa's distraught that he hurt my little buddy.
Little buddy.
So Howard sucker punches him while he's distracted. Then Tony, the elf, the other little person elf, whips out a stun gun, zaps Howard.
Like on his asshole,
Right.
it seemed like, or his taint.
Which gives other multitudinous Santas an opening to grab Howard. So many Santas in the scene. So main Santa yells out, and that's Jim Belushi, dog pile! And they do just that.
I feel like 99% sure that's an Easter egg of sorts, because that delivery, the angle.
Well, it's supposed to be.
It was like
from
food fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
It was the John Belushi Animal House.
It's supposed to be a callback. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah. Big time. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a callback. So, yeah. Glad that you saw that thing. Just then, though, the police break through. It's a raid. Which it's the Grinch, they call the police.
Yeah.
So Santas, elves scatter everywhere as the police round up whoever they can. A woozy and disheveled Howard tries to get his bearings. A detective demands to know who he is. Howard grabs a toy badge out of a bin of cop toys and pretends to be undercover.
It was a pretty realistic.
Yeah, it's a very
toy badge.
Yeah,
it was the Herschel Walker level toy badge.
Definitely. Yeah, he berates the detective, telling him like, "This is the sloppiest raid I have ever seen." Howard says he's been working on this case for 3 years, and they come in bursting in like terrorists at a tea party, which is interesting.
Weird line.
Yeah. He says that the commish is going to hit the roof when he hears about this disaster and orders all of the cops to get back to work. They hop to without question. Howard waltzes out while cops pile Santas and elves into police caravans. We cut to a shot of Howard driving over a bridge and back into the city, but wouldn't you know it, the car runs out of gas.
Come on, Howard.
He goes full John Matrix and single-handedly pushes the car the rest of the way across the bridge and into the parking lot or out in front of a nearby diner. Meanwhile, back in the neighborhood, Ted is entertaining all the neighborhood with all the moms while his kids and other kids pet the reindeer.
He's telling some mom, like, we should get together and swap recipes.
Yeah, it's so skeezy. But also, you should just tell people, like, we should swap recipes. Anyway, Ted's son Johnny tells all the other kids that he's named the reindeer Ted
After
his dad. So Jamie says that Johnny's dad is so cool and that he wishes that his dad could be so cool. So Johnny also says that Ted...
This is grim. It gets dark.
So Johnny, Ted's son, says that Ted never used to be like this until after the divorce of his parents. And that, like, suggests that maybe Jamie's parents should get divorced as well.
It did wonders for my dad.
Yeah.
It's so fucking depressing.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. But Jamie gets upset.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. Jamie's like, runs back to his house. Liz calls after him, but he ignores her. As he enters the house, as luck would have it, the phone rings, and it's his dad. Jamie's pumped. He's like, I knew I would hear from you. Howard's like, can I speak to your mom? Jamie says, you can't speak to my mom because she's next door petting Ted.
Yeah, Ted,
he means the reindeer. But Howard's like, oh, petting Ted, the neighbor. Then Jamie's like, are you going to be home soon? Because the parade's going to start. Jamie keeps reminding him that you promised you were going to be home and that a person should always keep their promises, like what Turbo Man says.
Always keep your promises if you want to keep your friends.
Right. So Howard is like, fuck this bullshit. Enough.
Enough Turbo Man bullshit.
Like raising his voice and saying, put your mother on the phone. I'm sick of this shit. Jamie is like, and starts to cry.
That's rough.
Over the phone, Howard's like, sorry, I apologize.
It's kind of weird because Howard hasn't done a whole lot in this whole movie to win us over.
No.
Like, he's on a quest to buy his son's love, and he's been acting like a dick from the get-go.
Yep. And even this situation's like, I'm not good at this. So he tries to apologize, fails. Jamie cuts him off and says, what would you know about keeping your promises? You never keep your promises. You never do anything you say you're going to do, ever.
It was more like decent acting from young Jake Lloyd. I like
decent.
This scene was okay.
Yeah, it's like, deliver this line of lines, and then that'll be it.
Pretend like you're not reading from a cue card.
So Jamie slams the phone down, storms off, which would be bad enough, but unfortunately, to make shit worse, Liz has seen all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Howard hangs up the phone, and we should say that she's like, damn you, Howard.
Yeah.
So Howard hangs up the phone, and we see that he was calling from a payphone at the diner. As he walks shell-shocked away from the payphone, he motions to the cook for...
Hold on. I got to say, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I wonder, like, we've seen nothing to indicate that Liz works.
Right.
Like, she has a job.
Right.
So maybe she does. I don't know. They certainly haven't, like, led us to believe she works. But if she doesn't work, she really should have taken care of the Turbo Man herself.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you
there
doing?
should have been a conversation. There should have been a conversation.
I guess she told him to get it, but it's like, I work, you don't.
Yeah. Like,
go out and get a Turbo Man.
Get it.
What else the fuck are you doing? Baking cookies.
Unless she mentioned it and he was like, oh, I have to do it because
we haven't seen it. I don't want to I don't want to sound like an ass.
An East German inferiority complex where I want to kowtow to I don't know.
And maybe she does work. Like, they haven't said she doesn't work. We just haven't seen it. She has housewife vibes, I guess.
Right.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I don't know why it's fully on him.
Right.
Who's like got them living in the little McMansion,
I
selling
agree.
the mattresses, mattress king of the Midwest.
Making that money. John Ravio making money selling mattress. So as he walks shell-shocked away from the payphone, he motions to the cook of the diner to get him a cup of coffee. Guy comes over.
Good man. Good diner service there. I got you covered.
But as Howard goes to take a sip, someone says, cheers. He turns and is shocked to see it's motherfucking Myron, also in the diner. Howard's not happy to see him, of course, but they quickly agree to terms in a truce. Myron joins him at the counter. They lament that neither has been able to find a turban. They lament that neither's been able to find a turboman. Then Myron produces a pint of bourbon from his pocket, and I'm like, yeah, let's just like pour it out.
I knew I liked Myron.
Yeah, I'm like, just get it out.
Old homestead.
Yeah, he's offering, and Howard's like, yeah, fine, fuck it. Howard ruminates aloud, saying that not being able to find a turboman doesn't make him a bad father, but yelling at his son for no good reason, that makes him kind of shitty.
A little, accurate.
Myron says, Christmas is the one time of year that dads like us have a chance to prove ourselves to our kids, and we fuck it up. And we've screwed it up.
Yeah, man.
So then Howard reminisces about a time he's like, man, one time I built a clubhouse for Jamie, and he was down. He loved it. This is badass. And now it's like, look at me now. It's like
Arnold, our guy, was giving decent performance in this scene.
He was giving chops.
Yeah.
So then Myron says, well, your kid's going to need some therapy. But in the meantime,
Howard's like, I don't like that.
Let's just drink right out of this bottle.
Well, so I'm not a big like coffee guy, but have you had whiskey and coffee before?
Yeah, you can still taste the whiskey.
How is it though? Is it good, or is it just is it just a means to get alcohol in your system, or is it actually tasty?
Both.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay.
Both. Coffee drink with whiskey in it is outstanding.
It works? Okay. I wasn't sure how the flavors combine.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into sweetener, number one, if you're just a coffee guy with booze in it, you're still maybe going to want a sweetener. It's fine without, but you just want to get drunk. But for the most part, if it's whatever, put some booze, put a sweetener so that it tastes a little better. But in this instance, it's like, let's get ripped.
It is afternoon after all. It's not like whatever.
Yeah.
It's not too scandalous.
Exactly. So Myron then shares a story about how his dad let him down one Christmas and he never got over it. Myron says
the toy he described, like the Johnny 7 OMA gun, was apparently a real toy in the 60s. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I'm like, that sounds totally made up. But apparently it was a real toy in the 60s. Anyway, just thought I'd say that. Yeah, so like a red rifle thing. I don't know what it was. It was Christmas like the one. Story. It was the Johnny 7 one-man army gun. It could do 7 different things.
Yeah. So Myron says, because I never got the thing, I've become a complete loser.
I'm a loser.
So Howard's
my neighbor got the thing and he became a billionaire.
A billionaire. Yeah. He cites his billionaire neighbor.
He was so down on himself. He's like, and me, I'm just a loser with no future.
And Howard
that's grim.
Howard looks at him. And then like imagines his son saying the same thing as like, oh fuck no.
Here's to you, Dad. He says and takes a big like young Jake Lloyd drinking from that old homestead bourbon.
I love that.
That was a fucking great visual.
Yeah. So Howard snaps out of the nightmare desperately, says he can't let all this happen, and that he has to get away to get his hands on a Turbo Man doll. So at that very moment, the DJ,
it was the Dave's Ex Machina time.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I have to go. So at that
moment, for a Turbo Man.
Yeah, hey, a DJ man on the radio, a DJ on the radio says, hey man, a DJ man says, we've got a Turbo Man. We're going to be giving away to the first person who can call in and correctly identify all 8 of Santa's reindeer.
Could you do that?
Definitely.
Okay.
Asher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Donner.
I have to think of the song. Is it Donder or Donner?
Donder.
Okay. I think of the song like, Dasher and
yeah, exactly.
Dancer,
and I'm sure that's what Arnold was too. So Howard and Myron immediately jump up and race to the payphone. Howard gets in first, slams the door on Myron's arm. Myron manages to pull the door open, but Howard clubs him over the head with the payphone. Howard dials the number, tries to remember all the 8 reindeer names while still struggling with Myron. The call gets through to the DJ, And Howard says, I've got the answer. But Myron says, no, you don't. And clubs him over the head, like pulls the cord out. Yeah. Laughs maniacally, like still holding the thing. Howard pounces on Myron, starts to strangle him with, like on top of this table. But then the diner cook, God love this like level-headed guy, like gets their attention. It's like the radio station is just a couple blocks away. So they look stupefied at him, then at each other, and then race out.
Yeah, man, the race is on.
What's this movie about?
I don't know. I'm into it though.
Holy
it's got
shit.
Arnold. It's got Arnold in it.
It's exciting.
Yes, our man Schwarzenegger. So we'll be back.
We love all the guys. Like Sinbad is bringing in this movie.
Bringing the heat.
Yeah.
Myron, Jake Lloyd, meh. Phil Hartman, yeah, big yes.
Time. Excited to talk to you guys about the next episode.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting for the Turbo Man doll. In our drama penultimate episode coming your way next week on 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger. So check it out. Tell your friends. Tell your grandma. Tell your hot aunt to look me up.
Definitely, he needs it. He needs your help.
Yes, and we'll be back.
Santa, I make my runs about the break of day. They call me back door Santa, I make my runs about the break of day.